inspiration, motivation, and encouragement is brewing. Welcome to the Tea Time with Tan podcast, where you experience innovative solutions and creative ideas designed for your colossal dream success. Let's sip. Here's your host, Tan.
Hello, and welcome to the Tea Time with Tan podcast show. This is your host, Tan Tate, and I'm so excited you are sipping tea with me. I've gotten in some reviews about the podcast show. You guys love when my husband, Mr. Tate, joins me, and overall, just the message of inspiration, motivation, and encouragement, the good news, the resources. So thank you for sipping tea with me. You know how we do it. And welcome to our first time listeners. And if this is your first time, this is actually the last podcast, in my podcast series. So please be sure to go back and pick up with episode 1 and catch up, because you don't want to miss that tea. It's really good for you. But now it's our 60 seconds of Get It Together, where you go and get your pen, your journal, clear your mind, clear your thoughts, get in a safe space to receive the tea that is now going to be served. So go do that, and I'll see you here. We'll hear you here. See you here. Just be back. 60 seconds. Now on the clock. All right, and we're going to jump right into it and get started with this week's episode. This is going to be episode 4 in the Silent Brand Killer series. So it's going to conclude that series, and we'll have something new starting next week. Here's your brief recap. We started this series out. It's the Silent Brand Killers, and we're talking about things that sometimes are silent, that lies beneath and can kill your brand. And the word lies is an acronym. The L was for lazy, a lazy mentality. Oftentimes we think lazy is sitting on the couch just doing nothing. No, you can be actually moving, but still sort of have a lazy mentality and really not doing it effectively. So don't be a procrastinator. We talked about praying over your to-do list, creating a to-do list, and then praying over it so that it runs smoothly as you begin to process and progress your way through that list. The I was insecure or insecurities. We talked about the importance of not being fearful. Fearful of yourself, fearful of others, being confident in who God created you to be, and go through your day with boldness, with courageousness. Add that to your brand every day, 24 hours in the day. The E, we talked about everyone else, how it's always everyone else. Whenever we don't accomplish something, or whenever something is not going the way that we want it to go, we could always look at everyone else when we really need to look within ourselves. It's not always everyone else. Sometimes, most times, it's you. So take control of your mind, gather your thoughts, remind your mind that it works for you. And when those thoughts come in that don't add value, that are not wholesome, that are not uplifting, cast those thoughts down. That's the reason why it's important that you have a personal vision statement, a mission statement, your affirmations, things that you can begin speaking over and over and over again, because what you speak to is what you bring life to. So that takes us to today, the letter S. The letter S, excuse me, I'm a little tongue-tied today, so you guys bear with me. Sometimes I go back and re-record, but today I'm just going to flow, because this is how life is. It's not always perfect, but long as the quality is there, long as the excellence is there, and today the excellence is coming from my heart. My tongue may not always align with my thoughts, may not always speak the right words, but I'm doing this podcast in excellence because it's coming from my heart. Today we're going to talk about the letter S. The S represents the word selfish. Now that's one of those old Arsenio Hall moments. Because there are those who say there's nothing wrong with being selfish. If you don't put yourself first, if you don't do it for you, nobody else will. Though there are those who think, well, it's got to be about me. It's always about me. I'm the queen. I'm the king. When you are selfish, it can impact and kill your brand. So we're going to talk about the ways that being selfish, some of the effects of being selfish. Selfish. It could lead to you becoming a loner. It can lead to you not having any support. I believe that there's two sides to the social media world. Those who are going to support you, they support you. They're going to like and share, put comments, give you feedback. And then there are those who just absolutely won't do anything. They won't like it. They won't share it. They won't give you feedback. They won't support it. And you have been very supportive of them. So really the S can be selfish, support. Selfish and then the word support. Now, to those of you who tend to be selfish, and when I say selfish, I mean self-centered, that it's always about you. If you feel like you're not in the limelight, then nobody else can have some light. That can lead to you being a loner. And it can also lead to you having a lack of support. Because see, what you sow is what you're going to reap. So those of you who are not sowing into others' brands, you have a friend that has a startup business, a friend that's been in business forever, a friend that's hosting a seminar, a friend that's doing a podcast, whatever the case may be. And it may not always be a friend, but someone that someone of integrity, someone of great character, someone whose message is what you need, whose message is feeding you. In other words, you what we like to call stalker. You guys hear there are many words for the letter S. Selfish, support, stalker. You're a silent stalker. So you lurking back there. You're looking and seeing everything that we're doing, but you won't even sow a share, a like, a comment. That's an element of selfishness. You are selfish. Look in the mirror, if that's you, and say, I'm no longer selfish. I am no longer selfish. I'm going to share of my time. I'm going to share of my support. I am no longer selfish. I am selfless. I am selfless. I am selfless. Because see, there's some things that you used to be selfish person that I'm talking to. There's some things that you've been waiting on, you've been wanting, and you've been working and working and working. And you say, now I've been doing this forever, and here's so-and-so come along, and they get to where I'm trying to get to in a little bit of time. You need to do a selfish check. What are you sowing? Another letter, S word for the letter S. What are you sowing? Really think about it. Most times when we think about support, immediately we want to equate it to a financial resource. But support comes in so many different ways. And some of it is priceless. You cannot put a dollar value to it. So you who used to be selfish, who is now selfless, Begin incorporating affirmations into your day that requires you to sow into someone else's brand. Another effect of being selfish is pride. Because you know you haven't done anything for anyone else, your pride is like, well, you can't ask for help. Or because you are so selfish and you want everyone to feel like you are the spotlight, another S word, the spotlight, that when you need help, now I'm talking to the selfish person, well, the previous selfish person, formerly selfish person, because hopefully in the first, 60, 120 seconds of me getting in today's topic, you have begun to confess, I am no longer selfish. I'm talking to the formerly selfish person. You need something, but you know you haven't done anything for anyone else. So now you can't ask. Pride won't let you ask. Your previous behaviors won't let you ask. So what are you going to do? Those are the effects of speed when you are selfish. Now here are some benefits of when you are selfless. Your true support team shows up. Shows. Another S word. Your true support team shows up. And that's people you can trust. It may be someone you have never even imagined it would be. Somebody you don't even know. They just show up out of nowhere. And they get connected to your brand, connected to your vision, and they start running with it. And you're like, wow, what did that shift, another S word, where did that shift come from? And then you begin to do inventory. And you are reminded of the seeds, another S word, seeds that you've sown into others. So now it's your time of harvest. So when you're selfless, you can have a support team. Another benefit of being selfless, you are continue to plant seeds in good soil, another S word, into good soil that helps you continue to grow and have a harvest. Now, the primary S word was selfish, but I'm giving you other powerful S words that can help you overcome being selfish. So if you're listening, if you're taking notes, please make sure that you're writing down those power S words. Support, seeds, sown, show up. Those words help you overcome your previously selfish behaviors. So now I want to give you some steps, some tips, and best practices to help you continue this new journey that we've begun, so that as you walk in being selfless, you can sow seeds into that walk, so that you don't fall back into being selfish. Remember, being selfish is a silent brand killer. And you want your brand, I want your brand to thrive. I want it to live, to have a prosperous life, longevity. So I'm giving you now best practices, tips to help you walk in being selfless. The first one is humility. And when you are being humility is just an act of kindness, being humble. Maybe you're going somewhere, you're at an event, and you notice someone needs a seat and they don't have a seat. And yes, I know the message that men are supposed to offer up their seats. But what I'm telling you today is for male and female. Offer up your seat. Give your seat to someone. apologize when you know the